This is the Ghost Brunch.
Let's get down to boozeness.
Do you want to tell us what we're drinking today?
We're doing a coffee margarita.
You told me we were doing a coffee tequila drink. You didn't say it was a margarita. What part of this is margarita about it?
So it has Cointreau, tequila, coffee, and coffee liqueur. So the traditional margarita has a tequila, a lime, and a orange liqueur in it. So we subbed out the lime for coffee liqueur. And we also added in some cold brew.
Fair. It is. Does the taking the lime out of it make it not a margarita anymore?
I don't know. I'm not a bartender. I just like to drink.
Fair.
Cheers.
Cheers. Should we say memento mori every time we cheers? Before I turned the camera on, we were looking into memento mori, and it just is Latin for remember you must die.
Yeah, that's a really grim thing to do every time we cheers.
You don't want to be... This is the Ghost Brunch.
So are we just saying memento mori instead of cheers every time?
If that's the vibe.
It can be. It can very easily be the vibe.
It's just then when we leave the Ghost Brunch setting and we're in a different setting with other people and we're cheersing with memento mori to other people who are not a part of the brunch or know about the brunch.
Yeah.
Then we're just going to terrify the masses.
That's
They're
fine.
going to worry about our well-being.
They already do.
Well, memento mori.
Memento mori.
Pretty solid drink, actually.
Yeah, you like it?
I like it. This week on the brunch, we're going to talk a bit about our experience at Whaley House. Mm-hmm. Because we just went to Whaley House.
We did.
It was a whirlwind trip there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we should have done more research ahead of time about Whaley House. So instead, we're going to do a post recap of Whaley House. Because when we were there, there's a big sign outside that says this is America's most haunted house, which is a bold statement.
It was. It was very nice inside for being extremely haunted.
Some of the most haunted places are very nice inside.
Yeah.
Right? I think so.
Well, when I think haunted house, I think, been around for a while, maybe some paint's peeling, floors creaking.
Well, this one has been maintained as a historical landmark / museum. So I'm sure they're keeping it on the up and up. But like we are other local spooky haunted house type places, the Queen Mary. And the Queen Mary was also very nice inside still.
Well, it was very well kept, but it still had the kind of spooky tone to it. It was still creaking. There were pipes leaking, at least in the bows of the ship. Yeah.
I guess so. I just feel like it was also very well kept because it was an active hotel. I don't think it is now, right? Because last I heard, the Queen Mary has been undergoing a lot of maintenance, and it has some areas have been deemed unsafe for people to be on.
I think they're still doing the ghost tours.
Yeah.
So I know people are still allowed to go on it.
But are they allowed to stay overnight on it?
I don't know.
We'll have to ask around at Shacktoberfest.
Shacktoberfest, yes.
We'll get back to Shacktoberfest. In the meantime, so 1857 is when this building was built. The Whaley House building. It is one of the fanciest old homes that were built at the time. It still is today. Like it's a huge house.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
But the house also served, as we saw, as multiple other things in addition to it just being their personal home. So Thomas Whaley built this house in 1857, but they used their home as a bilingual general store, which is that one room that had all of the merch in it. Uh-huh. And then the courtroom, which was also used for social gatherings, town meetings. They also had used it looks like, as a school and a polling place.
Weird.
Part of the reason that people believe that Whaley House is the most haunted. Mm-hmm. In 1858, so a year after they built the home, baby Thomas Whaley Jr. died of scarlet fever in the house. And they believe that his ghost, the infant ghost, still haunts the property.
Creepy.
And in 1885, their daughter Violet decided to end her own life. Mm-hmm. And they also believe that she roams the residence. However, the most significant death, the reason that people believe that it is haunted, is Yankee Jim Robinson, which we did not go out of our way to see his grave. I realized at the
Really?
cemetery.
He was at the cemetery.
He's at the cemetery.
Okay.
So that building, not only was it used for all of this activity, including like a courtroom,
Yeah.
which, you know, has a lot of negative energy in it.
Yeah, because it had that temporary jail cell right outside of it.
Mm-hmm. No legal matters if you were brought into a courtroom is a great time. Aside from like if you get a courthouse wedding, which I don't know if they did there. But other than that, I have never had a reason to go to court, which was great. So I imagine that harbored a lot of negative energy in their space.
Mm-hmm.
And then also this. So they believe that where they built that property was the former gallows where Yankee Jim was hung from. Interesting story about Yankee Jim is that when we were there, they told us that the average height of people, well, especially men, was like 5'2" to 5'5". They were my height back in the 1800s. Yankee Jim was said to be like 6 foot something, and that the gallows were built for shorter men.
Yeah.
So when he was hanged in the gallows, like his feet kind of touched the ground, and that it was a slow, miserable death. The coffins of the day were also built for shorter men. So instead of making a coffin for him because he was hanged as a criminal, they just broke his legs.
Oh.
I mean, obviously he was dead at that point in time. He wasn't around anymore.
Yeah.
But apparently to add insult to everything that happened, instead of making him a coffin that respected his size, they were like,
fold him up and put him in.
Yep.
All right.
We'll just crack him into a way that he can fit into one of the ones we already have because we don't feel like it. So, but I mean, he was tried and convicted as a criminal, I believe a thief.
Oh.
They're like, yeah, do you have any last words? Apparently he had some sort of speech about how he did it to help other people. So he was like a Robin Hood of his time. So they believe that he is also like the main reason that the house is haunted. Also the fact that it was allegedly built on a former gallows, all of the people that were hanged there, but they believe that Yankee Jim is the reason. Like he's still there.
Yeah. Well, if anyone would hold a grudge, it feels like it would be him.
Yeah. Also, I found out that because I was like, who called it America's Most Haunted House? Granted, we were there for less than an hour?
Yeah, about an hour in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and it was crowded. It was Comic-Con weekend.
Yeah.
So it was a weekend. It was a Saturday. So it was probably busier than usual.
Yeah.
But according to 2005, Travel Channel's America's Most Haunted show claimed that it was the most haunted house in the United States due to the amount of alleged activity, like the amount of people that say, oh, I had an experience at Whaley House. So I went in with not knowing that this was from 2005's Travel Channel show, America's Most Haunted, which might have changed my judgment on it. I was like, this is America's Most Haunted House. I went in hot out the gate with like, this is going to be haunted.
Yeah.
It's going to be hella haunted. And it has a lot of old energy in that space for sure.
It does.
But I don't know if I had, because I was so overwhelmed by like the crowd.
Yeah.
That I could
the sheer
not.
amount of people around us feeling like we were kind of rushed looking into the rooms because we didn't want to be in other people's way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from your experience of going to Whaley House, it was just people, just crowds like me?
It was just, there was a lot of people. I don't do well with hordes of people.
I don't either.
The house itself was really nice. There's a lot of old artifacts that I enjoyed looking at, and I do enjoy the history of the place and kind of seeing what they were able to unearth during their kind of excavations of the property. I didn't feel any different going into that house than I did sitting outside of it.
Fair. Are you the type of person that would, though? Like if you have you gone to haunted places in the past that you've walked inside of a building and been like, this is haunted?
I don't know if I've felt that. I've been to haunted places where I feel like uncomfortable, but that's normally because it's, nighttime. There's maybe 2 or 3 other people there with me.
Sure.
And I have that feeling of like you're almost being watched.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just because it's so quiet and it's so dark. Mm-hmm. And it's just the paranoia, or if there's actually something.
You're our industry professional.
Professional.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I put you in the description of the podcast.
Oh.
Halloween industry professional.
Got it. All right.
I was just following your resume
My
detailing
fair.
from episode 1.
That's my bad.
So
I came across too professional.
no such thing.
No. Oh,
So from the industry perspective,
I mean, everything's opening next month. We got Universal. We got Knott's 50th anniversary coming up. There's a pumpkin light walkthrough that's new this year. Mm-hmm. That looks like it's going to be at least a fun fall night date activity.
Spirit Halloween's popping up all over the place.
We got one already opened up, maybe
Yeah.
about 10 minutes from here. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to take a trip over there.
Yeah, we have to trek over because I need some permanent home decor and coasters. I need spooky coasters.
Yeah, me too. We already did go Halloween shopping though, and
Yeah, we
got
did.
some spooky teacups.
We got
Got a ghost
Glow
emblem.
Garth.
Glow Garth.
All ghosts are Garth to me now.
Yeah.
I think I've ruined ghosts
Yeah.
for me.
And me. You've
Yeah.
ruined ghosts for me.
Yeah.
All ghosts are Garth.
All ghosts are Garth. So
Yeah. I honestly had a lot of fun at Shacktoberfest last year.
we did have a lot of fun at Shacktoberfest last year. For those of you who are not in Southern California, last year was the first time that the area around the Queen Mary did an event called Shacktoberfest because of Shaq.
The basketball player.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Slash DJ.
He just was the theme of a Halloween event. The host of a Halloween
Yeah,
event.
he was the host.
It was a wild time. We had no idea what to expect going into it.
Yeah.
During the day, all of the haunted house things are like trick or treat child friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say that there's this midnight hour shift
Yeah.
that where they take, it's like after this hour, which is not midnight. They call it the witching hour or something, but it's like 9 p.m. But after that time, it becomes like a haunted house, like for adults. They do not recommend that children under a certain age go through them. So we got there early enough to start drinking and go trick or treating, and then see the witching hour shift, which is pretty much just a big screen in the center of Shacktoberfest that pulls up a video of Shaq reciting like a Halloween poem.
It was slam poetry. I'd say it's slam poetry.
Yeah, but it was like, it had that energy of those old timey like pictures that say when witches go flying and black cats are seen, you know that it's almost Halloween. Like that's those little like cutesy Halloween poems, but coming from Shaq in a slam poetry style cadence.
Yep. Which was great. And I mean,
And then just a sudden revving of the fake chainsaws.
Exactly.
So he did that, and then he revved the fake chainsaws.
there were real chainsaws. The actors had chainsaws.
Yeah, but without the chain in them, right?
Yeah, they didn't have the chain in them.
Yeah.
But they were still real chainsaws.
I guess. But if you take the chain out of a chainsaw, what is it?
It's a chainsaw.
There's no chain.
It's still a chainsaw.
There's no chain in it. Where's the chain part of the chainsaw?
It's just not attached.
I think it has to.
It's still a
not.
gas-powered motor.
Yeah, but that's not what we call. We're not calling them gas-powered motor saws.
Okay.
Am I wrong? You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
Yeah,
She wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, Doug.
Oh boy. Are we going to Knott's 50th anniversary?
I told the masses that that's where we met, was at Knott's Berry Farm.
I know the 50th, they're putting in a lot of effort. I grew up on Knott's.
Yeah.
It was always a classic, and I'm kind of excited for the 50th.
My first year, though, I just realized at Knott's was the 40th anniversary.
Right.
And now it's the 50th anniversary, which makes me feel old. But maybe we should see it to gauge how things have changed since we have not been employed there.
It'll be interesting to see what's all still there.
Yeah.
Because I think a few mazes are still there that I worked on. I don't know what's coming back. Yeah.
Are they still doing that witch theme? the witch gone?
No, I think the Green Witch is always going to be there.
Well, it was
in some sense.
it was a
or the
big
other.
deal.
Yeah,
in-
for the 40th, it was the Green Witch was the big drawback. It'll be interesting to kind of see.
Yeah, especially for a big year like 50.
Yeah. And I mean, besides that, we got a lot going on. Like Universal, Stranger Things, they're doing a pest control for their tram ride, which I hate bugs. I am not a bug person.
I am a bug person.
I know you're a bug person. It drives me insane.
I love bugs. All bugs? Butterflies? Moths?
Yeah.
What do you have against moths? They're fuzzy little bodies?
Yeah, they land on you and they leave dust. What's in that dust? What's in moth dust?
I don't know. Moth dander?
Gross.
I have dogs. There's pet dander. How is that any different? It's a fur dander.
It's way different.
It's not different.
It's way different. I can.
Butterflies? People love butterflies.
Okay, butterflies.
So you have
are
a
different.
problem with you're going to discriminate against moths?
Yeah.
You're fine with butterflies?
They all
thing with
they
wings?
all scare me when they're flying in my face. I don't care what they are. Something's flapping around my eyeball. I don't like it.
I love bugs. I love most bugs. There are bugs I don't like.
Yeah.
Even if I have to evict it or kill it for the safety and comfort of my own home, I always feel bad.
Of course.
So I have to apologize.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bug. The benefit of me being a bug person is whenever there's a spider, you can just be like, bug lady, there's a spider, and I
That's
got
true.
you. I will.
Appreciate it.
You got to be in your house. I will come over and I will just.
Yeah,
Up that
I got a
beat.
lot of spiders up here.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got nothing else. This has been the Ghost Brunch. We'll see you next month.
We won't ghost you.